I'm going to try to wire up one of these Crossfire receivers. I've decided that my vision is never going to get better in close like this, and that I'm going to have to use magnifying glasses I've used for a long time, like this set. I've got another set over there, something along these lines, to see that close-up small stuff, because when they do cataract surgery, they melt your natural lens with acid and suck it out as a liquid, and then they stick the artificial glass, plastic, I don't know what it is, lens in there. I do know it's something as movable as glass, because the muscles aren't attached to that lens anymore like they are your natural lens, so you can change focal lengths, so to speak. So I'm never going to get much difference. I'm going to have some apparatus like that set of magnifying goggles to do close-up work, so I might as well just go ahead and buckle down right now and get that working. I also have this get up, which was recommended by Adam Savage on his YouTube channel as one of the best he had ever used. So far, I still like my older one than this one. It does have LED lights in the front, and it has places right here for 2 magnifying glasses to snap in. And here's your set of 5 of different diopters, and these just snap in right here into these places, and then it goes on your head, and you can put up to 2 of them in here for very different magnifications. Like I say, so far I still like my older ones. These were, I did wear glasses before last Wednesday. These were for use when I did wear glasses. That's not so important anymore, but they'll still work. So I've got to go ahead and bite the bullet, and using one of these, these change angles. This wasn't very expensive either, and the strap adjusts like a bicycle helmet, really fits well. It is a good thing, so I agree with Adam Savage. It's a little more cumbersome, let's say, to set up when you get ready to go to use it. But I've got to go ahead, like I say, and bite the bullet and make one of these apparatuses work, and then I should start doing this soldering, because I'm never going to get without some kind of corrective lenses from like right here to my eyes. It won't focus like that anymore. There will have to have some kind of lens. Perhaps I'll have to have reading glasses for menus in restaurants, everything, reading a book, that I won't be able to focus closer than about right here where my hand is, which is about 1 foot from my eyes. And that's just the way it is in life. I'm going back to that doctor a month after the second eye was done, so we can make those decisions. Those decisions haven't even been made now. I won't have to wear regular glasses if I'm seeing things 5 feet in front of me and beyond, driving, etc. No need for glasses anymore. Normal day-to-day stuff. But the first foot or so, I may have to have reading glasses for. Anyway, let me set this stuff aside, and I'll speak a little bit about this receiver. I love these receivers. I hate these receivers. I love them more than I hate them. Actually, there's really only one thing that I truly hate about them, is the connections down this side, the 4 connections down this side of the physical device. These 4 along the bottom are the right size for pins and such, but these 4 are smaller, and even 24 gauge wire I don't think fits in it. I think it has to be 28 gauge. Don't remember. Anyway, I only need to use 2 of those 4 holes running down that side. And they send little bitty wire with the receiver. And so I'm going to use it. It does fit those holes. I'm going to solder in the yellow and white wires to the first 2 connections on that side right there. I'll show this all on the screen. And then the other 4 are really easy to solder to, and the cable I'm using will be able to solder to those, but not these. They're just too small. So I'll solder on that wire, and then I'll have to splice that wire into the wire in my cable, which I don't like that, but there's nothing else to be done. The price of these receivers is good. The functionality, this is the Pro. We don't know if it fully meets what it's said to do yet, but full functionality, it's great. Weight, great. Everything great, except for those 4 holes right now. You could make that board another millimeter wider and make those holes the same size as these 4 holes along the bottom that take regular pin headers, and I would be really, 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 really happy with this receiver. As it is, not so much. But I am going to use the little pigtail wires that come with it. They come in this little Nano RX cable set pouch that comes with the receiver. Don't like doing that, but that is the way I am going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to use this 6-conductor twisted pair, shielded twisted pair that I had showed you. There's a little piece cut. This is where the receiver will be, far out the wing as I can easily get it. And then on the inside edge, I will hook 2 3-conductor DuPont connectors to this cable, and I'll show you later why I'm doing that. That is, unless I can get a 6-conductor through the hole in the fuselage where it has to go. Anyway, I'll show you that later. And like I say, I'm using the shielded twisted pair. Let's pull back the shielding here, pull it off, and this is 6 conductors. There you go. 6 conductors. And I'm going to run that from the ground supply voltage to transmit and receive wires, one of which being transmit for the CRSF, one being transmit for the telemetry that's coming through the receiver, and the other one's the receive for both of those pairs. But I'll show you how I am going to connect all this up. Right now I'm just trying to figure out all the colors. There's not a yellow in this 6, whereas the wires that they send with the Crossfire receiver, you get black, red, white, and yellow. That's all you get on the Crossfire side. So that doesn't, the black and red match up here easily, but I won't be using the little pigtails that came with the receiver with these. I'll solder these straight to the board. I'll solder 2 of these wires straight to the board for the CRSF and the UART port right next to where I pick up ground and stuff on the flight controller with this. And then these 2 will be the ones that go up the side of the receiver, and they'll be spliced into that smaller wire with a soldered joint and some shrink wrap, whereas these 4 will be soldered directly to the Crossfire receiver. Yeah, this is the first time I've ever done this, so I have to figure it all out as we go. So there's the first little cable for one of the wings on one of the fuselages. And where I was talking about with the wires going through the fuselage is that little hole right there where these wires come in, right in the center of the screen there. The round hole in the front's where the spar goes through. The square hole just behind that is where all your servo wires and stuff have to feed through. A 6-pin DuPont connector I don't think will go through there. So I was just going to put 2 3-pins on the end of this cable and connect them to the flight controller. So that's what's going on there. That little hole right. Can you do it? That little hole right there. I don't know that I want to enlarge it or anything. Okay, so let's get started here. I stripped the wire back a little more on the little pigtails that came with the receiver. There's over 3/8 of an inch there now of the conductor. Don't think that's focusing well. I can't see, but and that's so I can put it all the way through the little board. Let me get some magnifying glasses on my eyes and we'll see if we can do that. Okay, I put the wire completely through the solder hole in the board and I just bent it over. And I'm going to put it on some tack and I'm going to solder it from this side and then cut off the excess. I just made that extra length so that I could do this without screwing it up. There it is on the blue tack with the wire going this way down the component and then underneath and then the conductor coming out towards me here, and I'm just going to hit that as quick as I can with a little bit of solder. There we are. This will focus. I have the insulator right down to the circuit board and then it is soldered in the first hole. These 4 holes don't matter. They're big enough that the cable I'm using will go in them. These holes are too small. So let's get the white wire and see, that's just going to come down through there like that. And let's get the white wire in there. And there's the white one, the second one. That's all I need. Come on, focus. That's all I need. Now the other 4 will be able to go into these large holes along the bottom here, and these 2 will have to be spliced into that cable. I'm going to go ahead and get the 4 soldered to this board. There's those 4 soldered up. Black, red, brown, and green across the bottom. And this white will be connected to this white, and this yellow will be connected to this blue. And that's what we'll have coming out the other end. Well, there's the yellow wire spliced into the blue wire. Had a little extra length there, so I just put a little loop in it right here. That'll be underneath the shrink tubing, which will be all over the receiver and the wires after it's got the antenna put on. This is the little clear shrink tubing they send for the receiver. So let's continue along. Well, there it is with the white wire. I used yellow shrink tubing on both of them, but there's the white wire connected and got a little loop in it too. Just hard to make that the right length. There we are, a little length of shrink tubing over those wires where the other shrink tubing was, and now all 6 wires are in there. There's the antenna clipped on, and then I did just go ahead and put the shrink tubing that comes with the receiver on it. It's a little loose up here. where the antenna is the only thing, but from right here to up the board is pretty good. Then I've got to make sure I can still get to my bind button. But there's that side of one of the wings. I did decide I was just going to go ahead and put a 6-pin DuPont connector on this side of the connector. So I did find that a 6-pin DuPont connector will go through this slot diagonally, just barely, but I can make that square a 1/16 of an inch bigger, and the 6-pin will be fine. So now all that's left to do is to sorry about that, is to put that 6-pin connector on this end of the cable that goes inside the fuselage, and embed this in the wing, probably right in there, and then stick the antenna through. So that's real simple. To tell you the truth, I think I'm going to make up this other receiver tomorrow. My eyes do still get a little fatigued, but like I thought, I'm just going to have to bite the bullet and use magnifying glasses to do my close-up work. Going to have to do the same thing on soldering up the flight controllers, so I might as well just get used to it now and get it done. That's the way I look at it. So, got another little piece of cable for the other receiver. Got the other receiver over there, and like I say, put two 6-pin DuPonts on the end of it, and that'll be ready. We're down to a wiring harness for the GPS and soldering up the flight controller. Then there's a big item I still haven't addressed, the pan and tilt on the front. But that's the way it's going and the way I'm going to start attacking it now. My eyes virtually aren't a problem at this point, or at least I'm not going to let them be. Thank you so much, guys.